Swords are cool.
But katana are the coolest.
Don't listen to him, he's a weeb. But katanas are pretty cool.
Katanas can also be really complicated.
And it can be difficult to know which one you should buy.
So today, we partnered with Swords to teach you about the katana.
And the first thing we need to talk about is steel types.
There are a bunch of different types of steel, but today we're going to focus on 3.
This sword is made out of 1095 carbon steel.
There are a bunch of different types of carbon steel, and what matters is the number at the end. This tells you how much carbon is in the steel. For example, 1060 has less carbon than 1075.
And 1095 has the most carbon, putting it at the top of the scale.
1095, as a result, is more durable, but more expensive.
1095 carbon steel is the go-to for most modern swords.
Especially for katana, because it shows off the beautiful hamon of the sword.
The hamon is this wavy pattern you see on katana blades that results from the differential heat treatment in traditional katana forging process.
But not all swords are made out of 1095. These examples here are made from 9260 spring steel.
The difference is this has a 2% silicon content, which means it's more likely to bend and then flex back to true rather than staying bent.
There is, however, some downsides to this steel. It's more difficult to work with, which makes it more expensive. It also doesn't show a hamon on the sword. So if you want that traditional katana look, you should stick with 1095.
And the last steel type we're going to talk about today is S7 tool steel, which is an incredibly durable steel used for making tools.
That's why they call it tool steel.
Wow.
Now, with this steel type, you're getting some pros and cons. You are trading flexibility for durability. It's also a lot harder to work with, which makes it the most expensive steel we have here.
Now, if that's all you needed to know to buy a katana, it would be easy.
But we're only just getting started.
Next, we got to talk about the Zakuri type.
Or the blade geometry.
The first Zakuri type is the shinogi. It's what most people think of as a standard katana. And you can tell it is one because it has a spine, and then it has one even grind all the way down to the end.
Now, even though these two swords don't look alike, they are both shinogis.
Even though this one has a bohi or fuller and this one doesn't, they still fall under the same category.
Next up, we have the shobu, which is similar to the shinogi, but has one key difference.
The way to tell is by looking at the tip of the sword. You can see the tip of the shinogi has this grind all over to the end, but the shobu doesn't. Also, the blade geometry is slightly different.
Next up, we have the hira. It looks remarkably similar to the shinogi at first glance, but it's actually quite different.
The big difference here is the weight. You can see that the hira has a much thinner spine than the shinogi, and it aggressively tapers as it goes towards the tip, whereas the shinogi does not.
This also has a less defined tip, which makes it overall better at cutting, but less durable.
Next up, we have the Kanmurai Otoshi, which is a little bit more complicated. It's kind of a hybrid katana. It starts off like the shinogi with a thick spine, but then it narrows like the shobu until you get to the very tip where it swells back out again.
Basically, this means that it's lightweight, nimble, and better at cutting while maintaining a thick tip for thrusting and a thick base for rigidity.
Next up, we have the Unokubi, which is very similar to the Kanmurai Otoshi. The difference being that it does not have the same swelled tip that you get on the Kanmurai Otoshi.
Now, those are all the basic Zakuri types you'll need to know, but we do have one extra special one for you today that isn't historical. In fact, it's from an anime.
This is the Sakubato, which was popularized by Rurouni Kenshin. The interesting thing about it is, because Kenshin didn't want to hurt people, the front side is dull, the back side is sharp. Clark, have you even heard of Rurouni Kenshin?
I've heard of it.
Have you watched it?
It's before my time.
What kind of weeb are you? I feel old. So remember, when you're buying a katana, there's a couple of things you need to think about.
You need to think about the steel type and the Zakuri.
These are going to be determined by what you're using it for. Some of them are better at cutting, some of them are better at thrusting and are more rigid, and some of them look cooler.
And some of them are cheaper and some of them are more expensive.
All the swords you've seen here today were provided by Swordist.com,
which is also the sponsor of today's video.
Swordist has a wonderful selection of different katanas in different steel types and Zakuri types.
And they also do more than just katanas.
Swordist also has a custom katana builder,
which is a perfect place to put all this new sword knowledge to the test.
And create your own perfect custom katana. If you want to get your own katana
and help out the channel,
you can check out the affiliate link in the description of this video.
Now have a good journey to find your perfect Nihonto.
Hey guys, thanks for watching, and thanks again to Swordist for giving us all these cool swords and sponsoring our video.
Remember to like, comment, and subscribe.
And also check out our Patreon. All this really helps us keep making more cool videos for you.